The Static Podcast is brought to you by the Hester Group, a law office with a 12-year proven track record of success. Now listen, if you've been involved in a serious car accident, you have injuries, your car is a wreck, you need to contact them because they can get you paid today. 314-652-4321. That's 314-652-4321. Tell them Staci Static sent you, but remember, the choice of an attorney is an important one and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Welcome to Wednesday on the Static Podcast. And, you know, I'm all about my guests and having special people in here with me. And today is no different. I have Mr. Larry Hughes, who spent, how many years in the NBA?
13.
13 years in the NBA. He back home. He been living and loving and just taking care of the family and teaching people how to play basketball.
That's it. That's what I do.
Okay. The Larry Hughes Basketball Academy. So tell me about what you do, what y'all got going on. I see it's a whole list of things.
Yeah, there is a whole list of things, but the ultimate goal is to build better people using the sport of basketball.
Gotcha.
That's my vehicle. That's my tool. It's opened so many doors for me. I understand that not all these kids are going to make it to the NBA, so it's good to build some character development in there, some life skills, and talk to them about how to be successful and how to motivate them in the right direction.
So how do you stop, I know that parents can be, they can be interesting when you're talking about kids and sports, because you say not all kids are going to make it to the NBA, obviously, but you got parents who have a whole different attitude towards things. So how do you kind of work with them to say, hey, even if they don't make it to the league, or even if they don't make it to that, they can still learn some things?
Well, I think it's honesty over harmony for us.
Okay.
Right? I mean, we want to be honest. We don't want to shatter any kids' dreams or shatter any parents' dreams.
Right.
But there's a lot of opportunity if you're not able to, to run up and down the court. There's, scouts, there's coaches, there's general managers, there's presidents, there's owners. There's a lot of different lanes that you can go in, if you're not, physically able to be an NBA player.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we engage those kids as well as to what are the other options, to be involved with basketball. So
when you were doing this, because how old were you when you started playing?
Well, I played schoolyard basketball, growing up.
Right.
I played organized at 12. So I usually use that as my, my starting point, because that's when I actually got some coaches and some refs.
Got you. So when you were that age and when you were younger, were there people around where you could see that you could be a scout, where you could see that you could be something else? Did you see the other side of basketball, like the business side of it?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
When I was coming up, the teachers were the coaches, and the principals, they were the coaches. So I understood that, there was an authority figure that you had to listen to be successful. Mm-hmm. But as far as having, a professional guy, come back and have conversation with us, we didn't have that.
Right.
We had AB, Anthony Bonner, who was a professional, who came back later, but we didn't have anybody that was here in town.
Right.
So I look at that as my opportunity to give these kids a different path.
Yeah, absolutely. You're exposing them to a whole different side of basketball and teaching them life skills through your academy. So tell me, you have quite a few things on your calendar coming up. So the Harlem Globetrotters are actually coming through, and you're helping them promote their time here in St. Louis. Tell me about that.
Well, again, it's another vehicle to have people come in and experience our building, our facility out at 140 Long Road.
In Chesterfield.
Right. But also to have, the Globetrotters come in and, be personable with our members or just with the public, just to show that they're real people as well. I mean, we see them on TV. We see them doing tricks. We know about the Generals. I mean, they have some very rich history. So for us to bring them into our building and do some shots and some tricks, and it's just another way of exposing our people to other things.
Absolutely. It's going down on Friday, October 18th. So that's this Friday at 3:30 to 4:30. Like you said, it's 140 Long Road in Chesterfield, Missouri. It's a Harlem Globetrotters pop-up. So make sure you go and take advantage of that. And that's open to the public.
That's open to the public.
Okay.
And, we understand it is 3:30, so it's right after school, but it's an experience, and if you can make it, we love to have you come out.
Absolutely. And you also have something from middle school. Tell me about that.
Well, we've just come out of doing a high school open gym, a high school scrimmage. A lot of kids nowadays, they don't just play open gym because they don't get access to playgrounds. They can't just go out and just free play. So we, offered our building up as an opportunity for high school kids to come in and do scrimmages, which is just pick up basketball. So we did it for high school kids, so it's a must that we do it for the middle school kids that are now up and coming. So we want to offer our building November 3rd and the 10th to our middle school kids to come in, and it's free. All right, you don't have to be on a team. You don't have to be within our organization. You just have to be interested in basketball and come out and play some ball.
So will there be instructors around, or are you just letting us just a free open gym and whoever I got you on my team, that sort of thing?
It's really free. I have our staff is there. We run organized scrimmages, so we make sure that the teams are matched up in a way that we get good competition.
Gotcha.
But we also are talking to those players during competition, after competition, about how they can get better.
Gotcha.
And ways that they can improve. Even our developers are actually jumping in, playing some up and down with the guys, while they play.
I got you. So that happens November 3rd and November 10th at 7 to 8:30 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, and that's out at your gym. You got a lot going on. Yeah. All right, and then the Winter Academy, the select team tryout. So tell me about this, because I believe I saw you post about this one time, and I was like, is it for girls too?
Yeah,
and you were like, for girls too?
Yeah.
You run your social media?
I run mine.
Okay.
My academy is
somebody else. Okay.
Yes, is organization.
Well, somebody did respond, and they were like, it's for girls too, because I was like, I don't know, my daughter needs some help, but we'll see.
Well, that's a big push for us. I mean, a lot of things, on the surface looks like it's geared towards just the boys only.
It does.
But I'm in a house full of women. My daughters play basketball, so anytime that I bring a male in the gym, I want a female to come to the gym.
I love it.
They're always welcome in our facility. But yeah, we're doing team play tryouts. It's just for that necessary tool that you need to progress. We're a skill development organization. We pride ourselves on helping young people develop their skill level so they can go out and compete. But it's also necessary for us to have our own teams that operate under our academy. So we'll have tryouts for that. Every kid will make a team. It just depends on the level of what team they'll make, whether they play tournament games, whether they play league games, or whether we do an in-house league for those that are not quite ready to get outside of the gym.
So all skill levels, and it starts at what ages?
It starts, so we're doing a kindergarten league. So we actually go from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then when spring comes, we jump into high school.
Got you, okay.
So we support them all. So once you're ready to send them off to daycare, we putting the basketball in your hand. And we're trying to help them out.
I love it. Okay, so it's a big deal. I love it. So you got the winter tryouts for kindergarten through 2nd grade also happening Sunday, November 17th at 11 a.m. So if you need more information on any of the things we mentioned today, make sure you go to lhbastl.com. So anything else you want to leave with the audience today? What you want to tell these people?
No, it's just good. Just using, just the community. It's been back in the community and supporting and helping out and using basketball as a vehicle to do that. And like I said, it's very important that we show that all of the kids that are playing, baseball and soccer and football, they won't all make it to the national level or to be paid to play at the national level, but they can have a great experience, and they can use that as they continue to grow and come back into the community, get jobs, have to work within the team. All of these skills are going to be necessary for them to survive in real life.
Do you think that some of the sports aspect and being a team player is missing in our community, and that's why you're pushing to really?
Oh, yeah. I think that's very important, and I think it starts within our teams, because if you're running a good organization, you can give value to every player on the team.
Gotcha.
So when they go into the community, they can see value in the next person.
Gotcha.
If you're not running a good organization and you put someone on a pedestal, then that's how, once they jump back in the community, that's how they'll look at the situations, is that someone is above someone, and that's really not what we want to promote.
All right, there's no I in team. Larry Hughes, thank you so much for stopping by the Static Podcast.
Thank you.
Everybody, once again, tell them where they can find you on social media and where they can find more information about your basketball program.
Yeah, for me personally, it's the real L Hughes on Instagram. For my academy, you can always go to the website, which is lhbastl.com, for all the information. The team does a great job of making sure all that information is up to date.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have more in a minute. Hold on. Cool. Yeah, the Static Podcast is also brought to you by Shay's Donut Shop. Make sure you go and check out my guy Sterling over there at 1015 North Grand, right next door to Veterans Hospital. He has delicious donuts, and he can whip up a delicious lunch as well. His Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, hamburgers, chicken, fish, all that you need to fill up your tummy can be found right there at Shay's Donut Shop, 1015 North Grand, right here in Midtown St. Louis. Yep, it's the Static Podcast, and it's also He Say, She Say Hump Day. And I'm not alone. Of course, John J. Johnson, I don't know where he is. He's running late. He said his ETA was about 20 minutes. We're about to see. But, of course, I'm joined by my producer, Mr. Ed. How you doing today?
Yo, what's up?
How are you? How was your week? How have you been? I ain't seen you since when? When was the last time we did a show? Last Wednesday. It's been a week.
Yeah, I think
it's been a good, strong week. And for those of you who are just like, where's she been? Where's she been? As you can see, I got a computer finally. I've been doing the show without the use of a computer since May. And I started the show in April. So even though, phones do a lot, they do not do everything that you need done. So thank you for bearing with me and all this time. But it was definitely high on my list of priorities to replace my computer that crashed on me shortly after I started actually really using it for work. Because every other time I was just kind of playing. It was a bunch of music and a bunch of junk on my computer, but whatever. So here we are. And it's been a lot that has transpired in the past week, I would say. The Cardinals, not so good. They lost last night again, did they?
Yeah.
They were losing when I saw. Are they out now? Is that done?
I don't know.
You don't keep up? You have on a Cardinals hat, but you don't know.
It's a city thing.
Yeah. It's a what thing?
It's the city thing. I got to wear St. Louis.
You got a rep for St. Louis, but you don't know exactly what's going on.
No.
And I'm no better because clearly I don't know what's going on either. I try not to when they start losing, I just tune out because I don't want to know. But I'm assuming it didn't turn out well because people were clowning last night.
Oh, yeah. If it was good, then
we would know. It would be everywhere.
I didn't hear any gunshots, so.
Gunshots? You
Yeah.
think they would shoot for that?
I don't know. They shot when the Blues won the.
No, they let off cannons in my neighborhood every time the Blues shot.
They shot
every time they scored. It was a cannon that went off in my neighborhood.
They shot when the Rams lost the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I was like, y'all salty.
And then there's that. Yeah, they shot when the Rams left the city. Well, obviously, a lot of people are talking about Atiana Jefferson, the young lady who was shot by Fort Worth police. After her neighbor called and asked for a welfare check. That is definitely the top of everyone's mind. I got to be completely honest with you. I've tried not to really pay a whole lot of attention to it. It's just so disturbing and upsetting that I could not fully involve myself in the whole story. I think that it was just way too...
Yeah, and that was the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right?
Yeah.
My mom lived down there.
I don't know. Everybody's like, don't move to Texas. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've always been afraid of Texas, and I'm going to tell you why. I probably told this story already. When I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car in my early 20s, obviously, I did national reservations. So people would call and make car reservations. That's when I realized all of the East Coast, New York people, Jewish people, they retired to Florida because everybody in Florida had a New York accent that was in the car. I thought it was so crazy. And I asked, one day, some man was super friendly. I was like, why does everybody have a New York accent in Florida? And he told me. That's when I realized some Asian people, I don't know if it's Vietnamese, I don't know if it's Chinese, they don't pronounce their V's. They say, we need a minivan. In San Francisco, they were always renting cars in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they needed a minivan, and they were paying with a Visa. And I was like, that's so interesting. And I realized that people in Texas were a different brand of racist because as soon as they caught wind of my blackness, their attitudes changed. It was mind-blowing, the things that I learned just answering the phone from calls in different parts of the country. That was my perception of Texas. It's always been my perception of Texas. I'm sure that people who live in Texas would have a different view. But that was my introduction to Texas, was working national reservations for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And when the white people from, or as they say in Texas, Anglos, when the Anglos would call and ask for a car reservation and they could tell that I was black, their attitude changed. It was just all business. They were annoyed to be on the phone with me. I'll never forget that. I always took that away. And I was always scared of Texas. So, I know people sing the praises of Houston. I know people love living in Dallas. I heard there are great opportunities in that area, so I'm not trying to shit on y'all city. But y'all been having some really tough situations as far as police officers are concerned in the black community.
Well, I think like where it's the worst in Texas or the smaller towns. So like everything outside of like
Dallas
Dallas,
and
Austin, Houston, San Antonio, like those places are fine. It's like a melting pot. Like,
Yeah.
all like mini New York. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You have because like especially too because like the three major races when I lived in Texas, like where I was from, was Hispanic or Mexicans, blacks, and white people.
Right.
Right. So like we intermingled a lot. Like my high school was very intermingled.
So it's not even as segregated as St. Louis.
No.
Yeah. Of course not. I think St. Louis is a special kind of segregated.
Oh yeah. So like people live together and everything else, and then but like it's these smaller towns. Like there's like this one town we used to play in. I played in football called Bowie, Texas, and they have like a billboard that says if you're dark, make sure you're out of town at a certain time, and it's stuff like
it's a sundown town.
Yeah.
And they advertise it on a billboard, like get out of town.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would like when I played football, I would like get hit by some like small town corn-fed white dude, and then he'll like, say like the N-word and stuff like that. And like, wow, yeah. So it's like it's always like that. But like where I was from, like Dallas and larger cities where everything's melted, like you have people that not defend you, but you have people that's on your side. Like there's white people who, you know what I'm saying,
right.
for against racism with black people and stuff like that. But I mean, and also too, it's like you go to those places, it's nothing, like they don't have nothing going for them. So it's like, I don't even want to be in your...
Right. I don't want to be in your little small...
Yeah. I mean, like, so the way I see it, like, is Texas bad? Yeah. Yeah, Texas is pretty bad. Like, I don't even mess with anything in, like, East Texas. There's nothing even over that way. Like, Texas is bad. But there's, like, if you go to Texas and you go somewhere that's worth anything...
Yeah.
To, like, have a good time or entertainment or meet people or even work...
Right.
They're not racist there. It's outside of that. Like, just don't go to no small town in Texas.
Well, I won't.
That's what I'm saying.
And the way it's looking now, I don't want to go to a big one either. Yeah. I mean, it's not looking good for the state of Texas. Yeah. They've been on my show mentioned for their wildness. This is the second week in a row.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also too, the cops can come from those small towns and go to the city. So that's another thing, because they grow up, like, you have these like kids from these like small country towns, and they're like, I'm gonna move to the big city and be a cop.
Right.
So that's where, I mean, I'm not saying where I don't know where this guy is from, or this person who shot,
Atiana.
Yeah, Atiana. I don't know where he is from, but like that's where
Tatiana. I keep saying her name wrong. Tatiana.
But that's where a lot of them are from. They're from those small towns that are small-minded, where they don't, they don't intermingle, they don't talk to anyone, they have that mindset. I'm not making excuses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
and that brings the question, the larger issue is that, a lot of people are saying that, white police officers should not patrol in black neighborhoods. I think that we're over-policed. I think that there's the fact that her neighbor called and asked for a wellness check, and they approached the house like it was a felony in progress. You know what I'm saying? That's a big issue, because anytime that it's been a wellness check, they come to your front door. It might be another cop that, comes around, but he wouldn't shoot through a window, because that's not a threat. You don't know who's looking out the window. And you have to be mindful of, they don't know who you are. You haven't announced yourself. You haven't said anything. So if you knock on the door, then they might come to the front door and be like, you knock on the door hard enough, it's the police. They say, police, open up, or we're here to do a wellness check. You don't even, I don't even understand how was he drunk? That just sounds like some drunk shit. Like, am I tripping?
Well, from what I understand from like cops, because like I work security overnights, and a lot of the people are former cops and or they're former military like myself.
Yeah.
And there's like in the military, like, yeah, there is this like glorification of like, combat and wanting to like fight, but that's the nature of war, right?
Right.
They have like a similar mindset from what I learned talking to like former cops. They have like a similar mindset like in their community, and like the police, like, like the police society, they have this mindset of like, you know,
they going to war every day. Like they suit up and boot up like they going to war.
Like it's a war zone. Like they have a gun and like this person, like whatever this call is, because like they always say the same thing. Like this call that I get and I respond to could be the call that kills me. You know what I'm saying? Completely ignoring the fact that that's not the case. But yes, there are cases where people go somewhere and you have somebody on the other side that's like, I'm not going to jail today. I'm either going to die or you going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
There are those cases. And I do think that we do need to we need to protect our cops and our police.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that they need to be approaching every situation that way, which they do. I had a guy say, this former cop, he was like, yeah, I was, there was this guy, he like robbed, he was like running from a robbery. Like he robbed a convenience store like by gunpoint and then he like took off. And he like was like, yeah, I got out the car. He like took off running. I was like, well, shit, I'm not about to chase him. And he was like, I shot at him. And I'm like, so you shot at this dude who was running away because you ain't feel like chasing him?
No, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
That's not, I thought that isn't that against their use of force policy? Like you can't shoot somebody because they're running away from you.
Yeah, but like no one's policing the police officers. They glorify violence, like on their side. Like they're rewarded. Like even if they do use their gun and it's a successful situation where they like kill the bad guy, like they are rewarded like immensely. And I think that even if you if you shot a bad guy, even if he was doing something, like I'm not saying don't reward you, like you deserve your reward for like being a hero
or stopping a crime in progress, whatever.
Yeah, but like that does something to you. That does something, like taking someone's life does something to you, and it does something to the culture around you, especially when it's like brushed off.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that the biggest issue that a lot of Americans have, like, we want to be able, I want to be able to say I can call the police. But it's situations like this where now everybody is just like, I don't want to call the police. Because it could very well end in the death of my neighbor who I was trying to protect. I mean, I can't imagine the overwhelming guilt that neighbor feels for calling the police. I know he has he was honestly concerned about this woman, and he called the non-emergency phone number to check on her.
I didn't know he called a non-emergency.
He called. It was not a 911 call.
So that's even worse.
That's what I'm saying. It was a non-emergency phone call to the police. I'm assuming it was. I just know it was a non-emergency phone call. It was a non-emergency phone call. He asked for a wellness check. He called the police because he was concerned about his neighbor, and for the end result of that call to end up in that neighbor's death, when had he just went back in his house and laid back down, she would still be alive. I can't imagine the overwhelming guilt he feels for having called. Yeah. And it's sad that so many of us will feel that way. So many of us have already felt. It's like we'll do anything but call the police in our community. And that's not great either, because with the violence and the crime that happens in some of the areas where we reside, we should be able to rely on law enforcement to come and settle that stuff, and us not get involved and us not have to live with that. But it's just like something if they don't see how detrimental things like this are to, like you said, the culture, it's like, where are we going to go from here? Like it has to be some changes, and the police have to be on board with the changes that need to happen in law enforcement. And they cannot continue to have this attitude that they want to just protect the blue. Like they can't, like they are supposed to protect and serve us. At the end of the day, it's our tax dollars that pay their salaries. So we have got to stand up and say something has changed, whether it's in the training. All of these police officers that have that badge and that gun should not be police officers. But it has to come from within too, where they say, yo, all of y'all not making the cut. You shouldn't be a police officer. Yeah. And I think far too much, they want to just stand behind everybody. I'm like, no, get their ass off the street and take their badge and their gun. Mm-hmm. You got to look inward. You got to start with the man in the mirror. You got to look at your organization and be like, some of y'all foul as fuck. I mean, let's just be real. Like, you got to keep it real. And I think far too many of them are not keeping it real. And I don't know what we need to do as a society
I know what the answer is.
Oh, well, what is your answer? You okay? You got a solution.
We live in a culture of fear. Like, there's a lady. She's a security guard, but like, she has to have someone walk her out to her car. I work in a compound an office building in Clayton. It's like a huge, like a bunch of buildings, like parking garages and stuff like that.
Right.
We at any point in time we have at least 5 security guards.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like 2 patrolling, walking around. Like we have cameras everywhere. There is no reason for this woman to be afraid of anything.
And is she an armed security guard?
No, she's just like, it's more of like cyber computer stuff.
Oh, okay. But she's afraid to walk to her car.
Yeah. Like there's no reason. Like it's completely.
And y'all work in Clayton, and she's still scared to walk to her car.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, why are you?
Where she live? West County?
I don't know.
South.
I don't talk to her like that.
He said I don't talk to her. I don't know what she do.
I don't know where she lives. But like, I mean, because that like, it's not that I think it doesn't offend me as a black man. I mean, yeah, it offends me as a black man, but like mainly it offends me as an American, because like that's how people feel about this country, and it's like one of the safest countries in the world. Like people always talk about like they need their guns because someone's gonna break in. No, I've been broken into. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was even there. Like they didn't have the audacity to break into my place when I was there, and they knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've like had my car broken into, and I don't have as much fear as some of these people who's never had like this stuff happen. Like I knew that those 2 times where I got broken into, I was a target. Like I had a DVD player a portable DVD player sitting out in my car. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lock my door. So, you know what I'm saying?
And so they didn't even smash and grab. They opened up your shit.
Opened up my door and took my stuff. Yeah. I was doing like a road trip. I was tired. But like that's my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I made myself a target. When I was at home, I let somebody stay at my house when I went out of town. And this dude went off and told the entire apartment complex, like, yeah, I'm staying in his house. He's out of town until so-and-so day. I'm like, bro, why'd you tell those people that?
And then they came and took your TV and stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah. Pretty sure they did.
Who was this clown that you had staying with you?
For real, just blew your stuff up.
This was the Army. Like, he was getting out. He got kicked out of the Army. He was going home. He had no place to stay because, like, you have this transitioning period where, like, they kick you out and you ain't got nowhere. If you're not home, they're like, yo, you need to figure it out. And he was like, hey, can I stay with you for...
You know what the lesson is?
Don't let nobody stay with you.
Don't let nobody stay with you that's been already fired from their damn job.
He was supposed to be staying there for 3 days tops.
Well, clearly he had a poor character. He got kicked out the army. You just said he got kicked out the army.
That's true.
But what you got to do to get kicked out the army, bro?
A lot.
That's Can't stay with me. But I give you money to go get one of the motel rooms.
But that's one of those things, like in the Army though too. It's like I can't turn my back on like a dude I went to war with. Like if he was just some dude in the unit, then like whatever.
So there's a lot of loyalty there.
Yeah, I was.
There's some camaraderie. Yeah.
I mean, was he a shitty person? Yeah. I mean, he got kicked out for like drugs and stuff. And like I knew he was.
Yeah, was he a shitty person? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shady and shitty. Damn it.
But he was in Afghanistan with me. He had my back. So
right.
It's like,
you like I
can't tell you. I'm not gonna tell you no. But he came and he was outside smoking, and like I was talking to him, I was like, dude, like, what happened? Like I thought he robbed me at first because I was about to.
You sure he didn't?
Huh?
Because he was a shitty person.
Shady and shitty.
To this day,
gotta watch him.
Yeah, a lot of people say that he probably did it, but to this day, I was like, ain't no fucking way. Like I was like, if he did, like, there's a special place in hell for him.
Well, you know, sometimes you just have to allow for the universe to dole out. And a lot of times.
Yeah, really. So I mean, I refuse to believe that. Like I would not like believe that narrative, especially because like we seen stuff together, we've been places together, like we've been through hardship together, and like in his time of need, I lended out a helping hand. And if he robbed me because of that, after all we've been through, like fuck him. But I refuse to believe that. You know what I'm
you said I want to believe that he didn't do me like that. Yeah. Have you spoken to him since?
Huh?
Have you spoken to him?
Every now and then.
Every now and then.
Like, so it changed the relationship.
Well, I mean,
he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. This guy. What is he doing now?
I don't know. Factory work. I don't know.
At least he got a job.
He got a job now.
Oh my God! Yeah. If you're just now joining us, it also is he say, she say, hump day. So we're gonna get into some relationship chit chat. How do you all feel about long distance relationships?
Nowadays, it could be fun, right?
Is it an escape from? Oh, and if you're just not joining us, John J. Johnson just.
What's up, y'all?
He just stopped in too.
I'm not a good a good example of this. Because like the last time I had a long like distance relationship, I was like really young, and like I should not have been.
I think there's stages to it, right?
Yeah.
It's fun at first.
I think it's fun. It's fun. It can be fun because it's like, especially when you're like traveling to go see somebody.
That's right.
It's always good. You're always seeing the best of
That's
them.
right.
Like you don't get to see like.
It's always fun.
You know.
New city, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get your feelings involved.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a different situation.
Right.
So it starts off fun and then chaos after.
Chaos. Okay, so it's fun until people.
The feelings.
Until feelings, and then the talk of relocating and things like that come up.
Yeah, I think there's a time period on it too. Like, there's a certain amount of time. Like, I think like I could do 3 months.
3 months long distance?
Yeah, I can do 3 months on long
Does
distance.
it depend on the distance that it is? Is it a flight or a drive?
Either or. Because like I mean, because you can plan to like if it's like a drive, like driving vote, then like I could do a little bit longer because. You know what I'm saying? It costs. I mean, in comparison to flying, it's like a lot cheaper. Like, yeah, you guys spend.
And you don't have to relocate.
Yeah.
If you can drive to it.
And you can drive to it. What is the it?
Relationship.
The relationship.
I got you. I got
The
you.
pum pum.
I got you.
You got him.
The pum pum.
There, it's the pum pum you're driving to. Okay. All right. Well, there was something else you wanted to say there?
No, I mean, like.
If you could drive to it. He just, he like emphasized it. And I was like, word? What you driving to?
I mean, yeah, there's phases to it. Like if we would start out, then it's fun because it's always fun going to a new place, and then you don't have to deal with this person all of the time, so they're not getting on your nerves as much.
Right, and
So,
then you can keep it like it's almost at arm's length as far as the closeness of the relationship.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you prefer? You sound like you speaking in favor of.
In favor of. Yes.
So do you also have an in-town relationship that you carry on at the same time too? Look at his face.
No,
Look
I
at
mean,
his face.
it depends on how serious that relationship is, right?
Okay.
If it's a serious relationship, then no dice.
Okay.
But then, I mean, if you're just dating someone and you're not dating nobody else, then yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's fun.
So what if you meet somebody else?
Locally.
Local, yeah.
Then that's a situation. It just depend on how awesome they are.
Yeah,
right?
I also think it depends on how the relationship started. Like if like we were together, like lived in the same town, we dated for a while,
And then somebody had to move away.
yeah, and then somebody had to move away, then like that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like if you guys start apart,
Mm-hmm.
then I mean there's some rules there.
Let's hear
there's a little wiggle room there.
There's a little wiggle room. I might meet somebody. And so are you honest with the person and say you do meet someone, right?
Yes.
Always be honest.
You have to be honest,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't think there's any reason to be dishonest these days.
You ain't got a lot of kick.
You don't got a lot of kicking.
Especially because you can get caught so fast.
That's tough.
It's not like
That's tough.
Not like back in the 90s.
It's not like back in the day. Well, I mean, I can't say that because you would think that cheating would be at an all-time low, right? With technology. Look at him. Boy, why does he always look like a deer caught in headlights as soon as I start bringing up cheating and things?
Like, huh?
No, because
Mr. Johnson.
cheating, like everybody, like, okay, so many people cheat these days.
Uh-huh.
So many people cheat these days. I mean, it's everybody have all access to everybody. And it doesn't matter how far people get plane tickets. And, it's a lot going on these days. So, and it's tough in relationships these days. Like celebrities don't stay together long. Regular people don't stay together long. It's just hard these days.
Do you think it's because of technology? It's been difficult because you
I
feel like
think
people
so.
are more accessible. Like like
okay.
as soon as somebody gets a trip and you can just log on to Facebook
It's so
and start
easy,
flirting.
right? It's so easy. Like everybody have all access to everybody now. And it's just easier. Like before, like back in the day, like grade school, high school, you really just have to be around somebody in order for, to see them cheat.
He said
on.
grade school, high school, even in our college years.
College years, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
We didn't
it was a
have
lot
this-
on it. Yeah.
Nowadays, with Facebook, Instagram, all of these Snapchats and all of that, like everybody have all access to everybody now. And it's just easier to do bad.
Would you? Okay. How do you feel about your significant? Let's say you are dating somebody. Do you like for them to follow you on social media?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't bother me because, I mean, there's nothing going on. But, getting this work. But I mean, for real, like you don't have time for like for real, like if you doing stuff, like if you taking care of business, you don't have time to be playing.
You don't have time to be
You don't
playing.
have time to be playing no games, especially in these days. If you got a good person on your team,
you
and
better you better leave it alone.
because it's select a few, right?
Yeah.
So if you got a good person on your team, keep that person on your team and handle your business.
Yeah.
The end.
There's a old Tyler. I think it was a Tyler Perry movie. All black movies at this point feel like Tyler Perry movies, but there was like an old Tyler Perry movie. I think it was.
They're not.
It feels like they are.
I know. Shouts out to Tyler Perry, who had an amazing event at his new studio and invited everybody except Amanda Seale. We talked about that last week, and I found out what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
I found out. Let him finish. I'll tell you.
But there was this old. I think it was an old Tyler Perry movie. Anyway, one of the quotes of it that somebody said in the movie was. A man would have a woman who would give them 80% of what he needs, but he would leave her for somebody that gives her that 20%. And then when you have that role like switched or whatever, now you like stuck with this woman that's only giving you 20% of what you need.
Right.
And you had somebody that was already giving you 80.
Because it's the 80-20 rule, they say.
Yeah.
80-20.
I don't think that. I don't think that's the case these days. I think today men are smarter.
Well, maybe speak for yourself and your age and your experience. And I think that where you are in life, that you, because I can't say some 25-year-old.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That's true. I mean, but I know a lot of guys, friends, family that are really more smart about, those moves these days.
Yeah.
Don't make those silly mistakes.
Yeah,
They would rather go home to their lady or just, choose one lady and handle their business and live as opposed to dating around. There's so much craziness out here today.
It is a lot of crazy.
Crazy. I don't want it.
You say I don't want it. No dice.
No dice.
That's my money. All right. Jesus Menezes says that long distance relationships are better on an interpersonal level. How?
Interpersonal.
How so? How so do you think?
I think
better on an interpersonal level. First, what is interpersonal? What is that?
like there's not a lot of. I think there's like not a lot of connections. I guess. I don't know. I mean, because what I'm thinking of like is like having like someone somewhere where it's like you know enough about them.
Somebody told me to speak into the mic. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's like when I don't know.
You trying to explain interpersonal?
So interpersonal, I guess, would be. I guess it would
be
be like if you know that person outside of social media, because social media is everything these days, right?
Yeah.
So it's knowing that person outside of social media, whether it's through work or friendship or whatever. That I guess that's interpersonal. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen Catfish on MTV. Like you gotta meet them in person.
Yeah,
You can't have
catfish.
You can't. You can't.
I don't know. I guess what he means is the relationship is more effective because when you're in a long distance relationship, you have to almost make every moment count, right? So that's what he means. Like it's better for the interpersonal relationship where you don't have a lot of like spare time to let.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? You don't let little shit bother you when the
right.
person is around you because hey, I might not see you for a month.
Right.
So let's
take advantage of all that time.
Let's take advantage. We don't want to spend it arguing.
You're not
or
on your
bringing
phone.
in.
You're not doing.
Yeah.
You're not looking off. You're engaged.
You're 100% engaged. So I could see how that could be. So does that lead to? Does that go into the thing of where maybe we need to when we're too accessible in our day-to-day activities to really have great relationships, and that you almost need that space to have something more meaningful. So we don't take our time for people for granted, like calling people constantly throughout the day or texting them throughout the day to see how they're doing. Is it better for our personal relationships to kind of have that distance?
Yeah, I mean, I think like even if like you don't have like the physical distance, like you need to have some type of space.
Yeah.
Like I try, like in my relationships, I try to create my own space. Yeah, because I hate being smothered. I hate being. But,
so do you find that women want to be? Because I'm speaking to y'all. Do you find that women want to be, they want to have more access to you and they want to be more accessible and they
I think
want to be able?
that's depending upon the connection. If they're really connected with you and want more of you, yeah, they're trying to get that time.
Right.
And it goes both ways.
Right.
It just depends on the connection. If they're not really connected, shit, they're going to go about their day and do their thing.
Right. And not really worry about
Not really worry about
what you
it.
got going
Yep.
on. Okay. All right. I wanted to talk about that. I didn't know what else I was going to talk about today.
Yeah, so the deeper the connection, I feel like, the more they're going to try to be involved in your day.
Gotcha. And Jesus Menezes said that I got it. I understood what he was trying to say. I'm assuming you are. Yes, you are, man. Because Jesus Menezes. Because, some people.
My man named Jesus. What's up, Jesus? Menezes. I feel you.
I say that. I'll be like, Jesus Menezes. That's so funny. I've done that. So when I saw his name, I was like, that's funny. And then I had to stop saying it because then my little girl started saying it. And I'm like, she might offend somebody saying that. They might be saying she using Jesus' name in vain, child. We don't want that. We don't want it. If you're just now joining us, yes, earlier in the show, Larry Hughes stopped by to talk about the Larry Hughes
What's up, Larry Hughes?
Basketball Academy.
He have
So
an
if
awesome
you want
program
to
over there.
replay, I heard,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what he was
awesome.
saying, like to talk about the whole child and
Yeah.
to talk about, just making sure, like you do,
Yeah.
with John Jay University. I think that it's really important that even if you teaching them the basketball skills and
You
the
gotta
skills
teach
of
them
the
life.
sport, you have to teach them life
That's right.
skills, and it's easier to do it, especially when you teach them about team.
That's right.
Because then that's also about community, and you'll be able to use all those skills throughout your life.
That's right.
So that's important. So
Yeah.
so make sure you replay it if you're just now joining us. And I still got Chingy coming by.
My guy. What's up, Chingy?
Let's see where he is in the scheme of things, because they should be here soon. Okay, they'll be here soon. So they'll be here within the hour, even though we only got 10 minutes left in the hour. Because, I don't know if we ain't even going to talk about why Chingy coming by. We'll just wait for him to come.
You so silly.
How about that? What you mean?
I mean, do you want to play the video when he's here? Like,
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, Chingy, if you're just now knowing, because I didn't know. Chingy released a new video a week ago. He has a new song out, and apparently it went viral yesterday. I don't know why it took a week, but it took a week, and everybody's been talking about it. So I was like, I must have Lil Howard come and join me on.
What are they
Static
talking about?
Podcast. You'll
I
see
liked
when
it.
Good.
I liked the video.
All right.
Like the song.
All right. I like that in you.
Boy, you
I'm tell you right now, I'm
said
not gonna say anything.
I am not here to give my opinion, okay?
I'm not
man,
gonna
it's,
say anything at all.
it's all about saluting and uplifting our brothers. That's
I'm
it.
trying to understand. I have
Yeah.
questions.
I got you.
You understand? That's all I have is questions because I know what I saw.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I ain't tripping. But everybody was like, no, and this wrong, and this wrong, and this wrong. And I was like, but ain't it? So that's why I want to get him to the table today.
Right. And talk about it.
And I
That's
have
what's up.
questions. That's all. I'm giving him a platform to answer some
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay. Also, of course, doing the happy hour tomorrow, and the holidays are coming. Like, my mind is blown. Like, my daughter keeps saying, I need my Halloween costume. She wants to be some kid from The Descendants. I'm sick of The Descendants.
What is that?
It's
Go ahead. You have children.
Yeah, it's this like Disney thing about like the villains from the Disney cartoons. They like had like kids.
Children. They
Yeah.
have kids.
but it's like live action
And a musical.
and it's a musical.
Okay, pause. No, that's where you lost me. I was cool with it.
Musical?
I was cool with listening to everything else, but the musical,
Musical
I
lost you.
can't.
And I got to tell you,
I
I have a
can't.
musical baby. My baby loves musicals.
Mm-hmm.
Loves them. If it's some singing and dancing in a movie, she's shutting it down, and she want to learn all the choreography and every
Oh,
word.
man.
And I got to listen to the word. I got to listen to the songs in the car on the way to school.
Oh man, that's when you become an awesome parent
My
because that's
stomach is
tough.
growling. So yeah, but thankfully I liked musicals too when I was a kid. Oh,
I
did.
can't.
I used to love musicals. My dad did.
What's your favorite? Look at you.
Well, when I was a kid, it was Annie, hands down, because I wanted to be the first black Annie. I was like, you see, I got
With
the
the little
fro.
curly-
Yeah, I
yeah.
had a little curl. Anyway, so I thought I was gonna be the first black Annie. Shouts out to what's the little girl name?
Oh no, I can find out.
Quavazane. Didn't she do Annie? Yeah, it was Quavazane.
How did she do?
She did great. Quavazane. Wasn't that her name? Because Willow Smith was supposed to do it, but she outgrew the role before they were able to shoot it. So they had to get Quavazane.
Yeah, she a big girl now. How old is she? Willow.
Quavazane?
Willow.
Willow. Is she 20 yet? 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. Quavazane look grown now, too. Like, she ain't paying no Annie now. So, what you laughing for?
That's the way you said it. She ain't playing it now.
No, she ain't Annie no more. Somebody, Jesus Menezes, you're on the show today, aren't you?
My guy, John Parker. What's up, John?
Hey, the silly season is upon us. Yes, Jesus says that, Jesus Menezes, I have to say the whole thing, says that the song is legit.
I like the song.
He said the zebra is funny, though, but the song is good, though.
The zebra, you talking about the fanny pack or whatever it is?
Yeah, that was, I need him to come in and answer some questions. I got questions, bruh. All the questions. Also, don't forget to join me for happy hour tomorrow night at Elmo's Love Lounge, 7828 Olive in University City, Missouri. Listen, they got the best fried chicken in St. Louis.
That's what I keep hearing. I'm going to have to get some wings.
You ain't hearing no wings?
I haven't.
I like their fried catfish fillet as well. So, yeah, they also have salads for those who are dining on a lighter note, which I need to. I did start back in the gym, but I haven't been.
Some good people at Elmo's. Shout out to Elmo's Lounge.
Hey, to Roy.
Yep, Roy, yep.
And Elmo, a.k.a. Ernie. Yeah, so good times. And it's a happy hour, people. So it's too late and I can't go out. No. You don't. You can be there at 5:30.
And it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. It's 5:30. It's a happy hour. It's a Thursday happy hour. Come after work. Don't go home. Because if you anything like me, when you get grown,
once you get to the crib, home, it's a wrap.
It's over.
It's cleats.
I mean, then you start. It's cleats.
It's cleats. That means it's over.
It's over.
A done deal.
Okay.
That's a football term. Like if you
figured.
hit somebody, and they flip over, and then you see their cleats in there. That means it's over for them.
Oh, it's over for them.
It's cleats.
It's cleats.
You can write that one down.
I'll remember it. The silly season is upon us, according to John Parker. He says when it comes to Christmas, nobody really knows when Jesus was born. And for 70% of what?
He was born on the 27th.
He was born on the 27th? I don't care. I just know what to get my mama.
What you getting your mama?
What'd she say? I forget. What did she say she wanted? She just told us the other night. Oh, my God. I hope my sister remembers.
You got to give her something really nice.
No, she said what she wanted. She said, all I want for Christmas is, damn it. She'll tell me again.
I'm pretty sure.
She'll tell me again. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Where they at? Because now we just stalling at this point. I like to be done within an hour on this show here. We can talk about Christmas and the holidays coming up. What are your plans? Or is anybody traveling? This is what I would love to do. My perfect holiday would be spent not here.
I'll be out west, L.A. and then Vegas.
Okay.
Doing some work.
Okay. What about you? I'll probably just be working. Will you speak in the microphone?
I'll probably just be working.
That's his midnight love voice. Yeah, I'll probably just be working.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be working.
I guess. You know what? My daughter shouts out to Asha. I should have had her on. Maybe I'll have her on Monday for Lil Homie Monday. My daughter, I don't like to brag about my children.
Why not?
I'm not that kind of parent. Because then when they fuck up, you don't want to have to tell people that too. So you just kind of, I don't like to talk about what they have going on because that's their lives. And I like to stay out of it because, yeah, if they mess up, you don't want to tell that too. So just shut up about your kids. But one thing I will brag about with her is that she is tenacious and that when she has something that she wants to do, regardless of if I'm on board with it or not, she could care less. She still goes
She's
for
on it.
And she worries you to death until it happens. And she worries everybody around her until it happens. And she has been trying, like the Dickens, to get on at Google, and she finally landed a job at
Fantastic.
Google. So she's moving to the most expensive city in the country, which is San Francisco, and she's leaving at the beginning of November.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
So congratulations to Asha.
Fantastic.
And, her ability to network and prepare and to interview, especially when I'm a person who has not applied for a job in 20 years.
That's nice.
It's not.
It's not.
Hold on. Talk to him for a second so I can take this call because it might be about our guest. Hold on. Hello.
What you got going on, John?
Oh, man. Got my new product on the way. So we've gotten all of that squared away, and I'm excited about that because it's some really good product, and it should be here within a couple of weeks. So be looking out for the new product.
What product is that? I'm back.
The John Jay collection.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, bring it on. I want to
Man,
see it.
I'm
When you talking
excited
about
about
when
it.
it's coming?
Excited. It should be here in about 2 weeks,
Okay, 2 weeks.
we're
So we're
getting-
going to have the whole table is going to be filled with products.
and you better sport it too.
Okay, as long as it fits right, because ain't nothing been
Oh, it's
fitting
gonna
right. I'm
fit.
telling you, honey. The whole fitness journey thing, and I was like, shouts out to Art. I know he gets so sick of me.
That's your trainer?
Yeah, I'm trying to get focused, but I have this that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
That you are doing.
I have this that I'm doing.
Yes.
And so with me trying to get this together, it's been difficult for me to really get on board and concentrate on my fitness. And I know it goes hand in hand. It's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
And I know the importance of, you got to have a sound mind and body to be, and I know it, but at least I'm cooking more. So, it's baby step shit. I mean,
Yeah, step by step. It's hard these days to try to stay in shape. It's hard.
I just hate that I fell off again because that is the worst. It ain't nothing worse than falling off and then you got to get back on it. And the older you get, the harder it is to get back on it.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
I appreciate that.
And then like falling off is like you just sit there one day and you're like, man, I'm just not gonna go to the gym one day, and then you look up and you're like, whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
It's like 6 months and y'all ain't been. You be like, damn, what you been doing? I've been tripping. And I have to lift weights.
I've been tripping.
Yeah, I have to lift weights because if I don't lift weights, it's just a wrap.
Right.
I can't just do cardio. It's a waste of time.
I have to, in order for me to do cardio, I have to like do something like basketball or something like that. I just can't run. Like, that's really
I
hard
have
for
to
me
have
to
Drake
do.
in my ear, and I can't find my earbuds. That's my excuse right now. I can't find my earbuds. So
I got something for you.
no, I want some beats.
You want some beats?
I want my beats.
I know
My
beats.
wireless beats. I think somebody stole them.
Oh,
I think I lost a pair, and then I think somebody stole them.
John Parker, we're gonna get you on, man. We're gonna get you. We got to get you on. You got a lot to say.
What he coming on to talk about?
Oh, some everything. John Parker is a good guy.
Why do you have to say his name completely? Like, he sounds like a superhero.
That's my
John
guy.
Parker. It's time to call John Parker.
That's my guy.
Calling in John Parker. So yes, Chingy is pulling up, and he's about to come in, so we could talk about this video.
All right. I want to hear. I want to hear
wanna
about
hear
it.
it?
I do.
You saw the video,
I saw the video
okay?
because I saw everybody talking about it.
And you have to go watch
I
it.
had to go watch it.
Of course, yeah.
And I like the video.
How do you feel about people? How do you feel about people like a Chingy who've been in the game for quite a while, and then when they come out with new material, do you feel like the material, do you think that their music should be more reflective of their personal life? Do you want people to, or do you want them to just stick to like party songs? How do you feel? How do we feel about the evolution? And also you watching, how do we feel about the evolution of our rappers?
Okay, so I think first of all, like I'm a hip hop head.
Okay.
Like I love my hip hop, the true essence of what hip hop is. So like the newer stuff, it doesn't grab a hold of me at all.
None of it?
I mean, it's a selective few like the Kendricks
Yeah.
and the J. Coles and those guys. I like
Yeah.
that stuff, but like the newer stuff, like the 21 Savages and stuff
You
like
don't
that.
like 21 Savage?
You see my face?
21.
21.
I like 21 Savage.
It's terrible.
When he performed last year, I was like, he was the only one on them. I was like, I want to see 21 set.
Wiggity whack. I mean, it's terrible. I'm sorry.
I like
It's
the baby too.
Okay, the baby's dope. I like the baby.
See?
His whole energy is dope. Like I like the baby. Like he seemed like a cool dude. But but like with Chingy's video, The only thing like that got me was like, okay, what is the guns for? I'm not so sure. Like the point you're trying to get across with the guns and stuff like that. And it's kind of like trying to fit in with the newer stuff. Like you don't have to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
One of the comments I pulled said, "When did Chingy become a
gangster rapper?"
Yeah, like a gun-toting.
I mean, he grew up around that kind of stuff.
He knows some killers.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. But you know, I mean, he was always like the party guy, like holding me back. You know what I'm saying? Or bringing me. What's the name of that song? It wasn't holding me back. Bringing me back. What was the name
with
of that
Tyrese?
song?
The one with Tyrese.
Yeah. Shouts out to Tyrese. I like him in that movie, Black and Blue. That I did the screening for last week. Did you make it? You didn't make it out?
I did not.
I was wondering because I didn't see you. You said you were coming.
I did not.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It was good.
Tyrese needs a win.
Tyrese got to win with this.
Yeah.
Although he's not as sexy as he used to be.
He had some stuff going on.
Well, he was crying. Well, you can't.
Look at you. Look at you.
You can't be publicly crying and having mental breakdowns about the Fast. Well, first he started crying about the Fast and the Furious, like he needed a check. My stomach growling. Then, I had coffee and it's like, I keep announcing it because I'm afraid you can hear it. And then he started crying about his daughter. You can't have these public.
Yo, like that child support stuff is a beast. Like, and then when they try to like keep you from them, like, no, like that's. I mean, you can't cry about it though. Like, you just got to man up and deal with it.
You can cry about it. I'm not mad at a man that cried, but you can't publicly get on social media and look unstable. Is my issue.
Yeah, that's
like if he come on the podcast and get emotional, that's one thing. Yes, you're always invited to my podcast, Aries. But I'm just saying if you do like a Wendy show and get emotional, but you can't be on your phone. What more do you want from me? Like you can't. And then you just look crazy crying at home by yourself.
That was not okay.
Like somebody get his phone.
Yeah, that was not okay.
I think they're here.
You think they're here? Are you going to retrieve them? John,
retrieve them.
You're closer.
Want me to retrieve? I'll retrieve them.
I want you to retrieve our guests. And thank you for hanging out with us while we muddle through all of this. This where we at. What's happening, sir? How are you? We're already in progress. Yeah. Thank you. You're walking in front of cameras and whatnot.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I ain't know.
You ain't know?
No.
No, you're live on Facebook, so say hi to everybody.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
Cause some problems.
That's why I wanted you on. Yeah, they talking. I need you to talk right directly into the microphone.
My guy.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for coming.
You know, come on, Staci.
Yeah, I already know. I was
Yeah,
all like,
already know
I
what
need
it is.
Chingy on my show. You change your number every week. We ain't gonna talk about that.
I gotta duck people sometimes.
Is that what you do?
Not you.
I
Of
know.
course not,
I know.
but
I
you
always know how to reach you. Don't worry. No worries. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Social media been hitting you up, bro.
Yeah, well, you know, social media got a mind of its own.
I
But
do have questions though.
we can get into it.
All
It's
right. Well, let's
good.
go
You know
ahead
me.
and show a clip. But for those of you who have not seen the video, we have it.
Mm-hmm.
So walk us through this because
The
it seems like
informant. That's
I know.
okay.
Go. We can't see it. It's not. There you go. Move it over some. All right. It's still all right. I want to
All right.
give me
Yeah.
some background on it because I think
Okay.
that some people might not understand what you were trying to do here.
Okay. First off, when it comes to, I have a new album called Loyalty and Greed.
Okay.
And so in my career, going through my career up until now, I'm from the streets. I'm from Walnut Park,
Yep.
Beacon Street on the north side.
It's
So
tough
I
on
know all about
Walnut
the street
Park.
life,
Yeah.
and you know, I come from
Grimy Walnut Park.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so from even then in my childhood growing up, loyalty and greed played a part. Even in my career, loyalty and greed played a part. With just like that, this is a street record.
Right.
First off, this is a street record. And I hear a lot of people tell me, is he trying to be a trapper now? Is he trying to be a blood, this, and that? They don't know the history about where I come from. So evidently they don't know me. I come
Right.
from a blood neighborhood. But red has always been my favorite color.
Right.
So
St. Louis Cardinals.
That's exactly where
Right.
we shot right there.
Hometown.
Right.
The
Okay.
house just gone. That's exactly where we shot right there.
Oh.
The video. So it's
It's
nothing
an empty
changed.
lot though.
Yeah, it's
now.
an empty lot now. And when you look at me, go back to 2004 and look at a picture of me. It's just me. It's
That's
the
what
same
I thought.
channel.
It was like a throwback.
Yeah, so okay, so
It's a time
vintage.
period.
Yeah, it's a time
Vintage.
period.
That's what I said.
Vintage
It's a time
Chingy.
period video.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously. This is the concept.
Okay.
It's a vintage video that was meant to look grimy. That's the point of the record. The record is a street edgy record. So the video was meant to look vintage and grimy from even the camera that I chose.
So why didn't you do like 19 or like 2019? Why didn't you put the date up there so people would not be?
Right. I get that.
Okay.
You would think
Right.
that you would think that people would understand.
But
the
that's what I was
concept.
just like, no, I think this is supposed to look, because somebody was like, you got them late model Benzes. I was like, no, I think that it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. And they probably can't even afford now one of them Benzes.
Oh,
Bloop.
Late model Benzes. They probably even got a car. But
they didn't. They don't. The
see,
person
you know
who
what I'm
said it.
saying? But see what that
Look
is.
at you. Look at you. Boy, you crazy.
You see?
Boy, you crazy.
But what
They don't.
and I'm gonna tell you, and if you pay attention, it's more about people tripping off me and tripping off that little book bag vest I got.
I didn't
That I
understand.
just turned to the front.
I was like, is it a beeper in there?
It's
But
a
it was a
little-
gun in there.
It's a
It's a
Oh,
strap.
okay.
It's a book bag vest
Uh-huh.
that I just turned to the front,
Yep.
being different.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
it.
Okay.
It's not rocket science. That's it.
Okay.
Even when I bought the book bag,
Uh-huh.
as soon as dude gave it to me, I turned it right to the front. I
You
got
like,
a
yeah.
picture of it.
Yeah.
So, that's just me. And the video
Mm-hmm.
is an informant in the streets. He's snitching on somebody. So when you see the video and say informant.
And then the
all of
OGs
that.
is sitting in a.
And Big Howard, my daddy, which is a true OG, is sitting in the house. So the informant comes in. He gives him the piece. And because they finna go to the back and talk about what he did. And he's going to end up gone. That's a street mentality for what people go through in the street. It really happens.
Man, didn't
even from CIA planting informants
Yeah.
In the,
into the hood.
Exactly.
To, you know what I'm
Just so
saying?
they can
to,
get their
to
way.
Get over. And
Yep.
so that's what that video is about. It has a loyalty and greed, like I said. You know people that's loyal. You know people that's disloyal.
That's
you know
right.
people that be around you for materialistic
Yep.
stuff, and then greed, money, and
Yep.
all of that. So that's what that's about, and it's a vintage feel in the video.
It's a throwback.
It's
Is
a
it
throwback.
is it supposed to be like circa 2000?
Yeah. It's supposed to be late 90s.
Late 90s.
That
And so
type
it
of
probably
feel.
would have, but it probably would have helped had you said
If it had said that.
Walnut Park 1998.
Totally.
Can we
Totally.
go back and re-edit it?
They can go back and do
Nuh-uh.
that. They can do that.
Because see, here's the thing.
He said, "Nuh-uh." Right.
Because see, here's the thing. For one, with me, I don't care about people's opinions.
I
I'm
know
just
you
gonna
don't.
say
Yep.
that right now.
Okay.
I don't care about people's opinions because I understand that it's always gonna be the polarity of dislike and like. Good and
Regardless of
bad,
what you do.
love and hate, regardless
Yep.
of what you do.
Yep.
I embrace the people that don't like it just as much as I embrace the people that like it because I understand that correspondence.
Got you.
I understand it. So I'm not upset when people say they don't like it. That's how they feel.
Exactly.
Everybody's not going to like everything. You know what I'm saying? Some people, to the people that like it, shout out to them. But to the people that don't like it, shout out
to them too.
And I'll tell them that. You know what I'm saying? But that video was meant to be what it is.
Got you.
Right.
Now.
That's what I said, though. I was like, if you look at it, it's supposed to be throwback.
Yeah.
Like, it's not present time.
Exactly. And even from the camera that we used, it had that old camera look to it.
Right.
We wanted that.
Got you.
Now, we did discuss, because I was just like me, because, I'm a little more of a spiritual guy. Like, and I think a certain way. And so I was like, man, I don't really like the content, what I'm talking about. Drugs, guns, all that.
I got both my chains on.
Yeah, And then the people was like, you ain't even got a lot of chains on. I said, it's one chain I got on that probably costs more than everything you can afford.
Ooh,
Right.
you better tell them, Chingy.
Let them know.
And I'm not.
I know
don't mean to
you're
be
not.
this
I
way,
know,
But
I
people
know.
But if they
sometimes
wanna
get
say
beside
something,
themselves
just-
and
But
talk
yeah.
and don't know.
There you go.
What's really going
Yeah,
on.
they don't know.
And so, but that video was made to be just like
Vintage.
that. No pun.
That's
intended.
right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for clearing that up because that's what I said.
Yeah.
And I was right.
And one more thing I want to touch on. Now, when you think about it, we talking about this generation of kids who probably were babies when I came out.
Yeah.
Who probably were kids that didn't know no better.
They don't know anything.
have
about
no
your
idea.
history.
Wiser, meaning older, who's created an opinion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really who you heard talking,
talking.
Right.
and going along. And so being that me and Nelly are the most successful rap artists to come out of St. Louis for real,
Right, right.
I'm not being funny. That's just the truth.
Yeah,
Right.
And y'all still have careers.
And we definitely still have careers. So they want to attack us sometimes to try to get our attention.
Which is crazy because, like, why y'all trying to attack your own?
Yeah, it's
That's a weird thing.
I've
You
seen
know,
a lot of
it's a
people
lot of
like
crabs in the
St.
barrel.
Louis is terrible.
Crabs in the
St.
barrel.
Louis don't support. I've seen a lot of people saying this, from some celebrities to a lot of people saying St. Louis is terrible. St. Louis don't support their own. What's wrong with them? And and they created this.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you give you another analogy, I go to this gym in Chesterfield. A lot of doctors go there, principals,
Yeah.
lawyers, a lot of wiser
Educated people.
Meaning,
Yeah. Yeah.
meaning older, educated people. When I say wiser, I mean older. A lot of European people.
Yeah.
It's like from teens to it'd be people in their 70,
70.
80.
Yeah, because they working out.
So I came in there the other day, and this man was like 70 something. Trust me when I tell you. He came up to me and he just showed me his phone, and I looked. He was listening to Just Like That.
Oh, okay.
This dude like in his 70s, no bullcrap. And he was like, man, you know what? I don't really like rap music, but I like your rap music.
Right.
I was like, that's cool. And so he was like, man, let me get a picture with you. Then he sent it to his son. His son hit him back, and guess what he sent him?
What?
A shot of iTunes Just Like That record. He was listening to it. They always congratulate me when I come in this gym. Over the years, they got to know who I am. And
Right.
So they always congratulate me, want to talk to me. I be always wearing my their shirt. So
Right.
they always interested in it.
Yeah.
So I have principals who come to me and be like, so tell me the background on this. You know, because he's a principal. So he's looking at it like,
I can wear this in school.
Right, right.
Yeah.
but after I finish explaining to him, because I'm very, I'm a self-thinker. After I finished explaining to him, that's how I talk. So that's how I spell it. That's how I say it. He was like,
Okay.
that makes sense. And I get that.
It's phonetic.
Right.
It's not supposed to be.
I said the way that we've been taught ain't always the right way. He said, I agree with you. They always support me at this gym, and it's mostly European people. But when you go to Facebook, that's how the black community is always acting.
Here come Black Twitter.
So it's a disconnect.
Do you think
These
that
people
that's
are wealthy. These people.
I understand. But do you think that that's because I was asking the question before you came in. How do we want to see our rappers evolve? Because it is a young man's game. I mean, let's be real. So it's just like when you do become a rapper in the game who's been in there for over a decade, and you still have a career, and you still getting shows across seas and all throughout the U.S.
Yeah, you killed it in Vegas.
How do you
Killed it in Vegas.
how do we want to see our artists evolve, and do you think that comes to play in it? Because I think that a lot of times, I mean, Jay-Z is obviously a person who's been able to release new music and
cater to the older crowd.
And cater to the older
more
crowd
mature
and
crowd.
not and not have to deal with, so I think that also goes into play. It's like when you do put yourself on the platform with rappers like we talking about The Baby and 21 Savage, and you do put out a street record, and these kids, like you said, who don't really know your career like that,
or even what hip hop is, period.
Yeah, and then when they see you come out, then they're comparing you against what they know you as, and they're comparing you against the people that are already out. So it's like, how do you fit in that space?
How do I fit in that space? It's when you play Just Like That, and you go play a Lil Baby record, a Migos record, or whatever. What's the difference?
Right.
What's the difference? It's all good music.
Right.
That records sound just as great as any record they got.
Right.
The difference is the perception and how they look at me. Okay, I could say I haven't been very consistent throughout the years with my music through trials and tribulations I went through. But these guys are just more relevant. They have more resources.
Right.
Their records play every day. Mine don't.
Right. Okay.
Their videos and stuff play every day. They on these different talk shows
Right.
every day. I'm not. That's just a disconnect.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it. But to get back to that, it's a young man's game, I had to say. We probably only say that in hip hop.
We only say that in hip hop because on pop radio,
R&B or rock or
it's not like that. I mean, and I always say that. I mean, it's because I'm definitely a hip hop person, but it was like they tried to tell me like I aged out of being in the hip hop radio. You understand? That's where I started my career. But it was like, as I got older, they were like, this is where you belong. You belong over here on the Urban AC side. This is your wheelhouse. How the hell you gonna tell me this is my wheelhouse?
I didn't know that.
When I'm listening to shit in the car, like I'm keeping up. Like I just said, I like The Baby. You tripping? Like you know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. But you have to be mindful of what, like you said, people's perception of you, and that's why it is important for you to Be independent.
They
and
try
put
to
out the
put
kind
you
of
into
music.
their box.
They do.
When you probably don't even want to be in their box.
You like this? I
don't even want to be in this box. So if you don't understand it, then thank you for that.
We all are authors of our own books of life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so as I'm writing mine, I can put you in mine as a character, whatever character I want. Don't mean it's true.
Right.
Exactly.
That's just my perception, how I want to look at it. Don't mean it's true. And that's what everybody do.
Right.
With
And that's why you can't
stories.
even be mad at it.
No. I have grown in such a way mentally and spiritually in such a way. And if people don't see it, then I don't know what they looking at. You know, I'm very intelligent and articulate with how I deliver myself when I'm speaking. And that comes from growth and what I've been learning. People don't know. When I was on the road, I was going to school. I was studying the metaphysics of religion, the metaphysics of thought. I got a degree in astrology, in cosmology, in geometria, the quadrivium and rhetoric of language. I was kickboxing. I was doing so much stuff that when they just thought that I was just rapping, but I was not. I was feeding myself mentally. But it's those trials and tribulations and stuff I was going through too that made me realize a lot of stuff. And one thing I learned and was very mindful of was embrace love with hate, hate with love. These are not two different things. They're one thing. It's just the extremes in between. That's it. And I always tell people this. It's just like a thermometer. You got cold and hot. Do you think those are two things? Some people, there's two things. It gets hot and it gets cold. No, it's one thing. It's the extremes in between. The degrees.
Yeah, because it gets warm too.
It just gets warmer.
Yeah.
Cold just gets warmer. It's where you want to take it. So it's a reason why people say, "Oh, you acting cold. Oh, you hot. You hot." It's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying?
Because it be true.
That's how I look at things, man. That's why I don't get upset.
Okay.
I sit back and I watch what these people say on Facebook, or I watch what these people say, period. And me, myself, people be like, why do you talk to them? Why do you say something to them? Because it's social media.
It is, and that's what it is. They're being social. Yeah, let them be social.
I want to see why sometimes they feel like that. But most of the time, I'm going to tell you what they do. They just want a response.
That's it.
They just want me to say something to them, and
they don't even believe what
Hey, man, I've been a fan. I like your music. You just said you ain't mess with my music.
Right. They just want you to say so. I mean, I'm just saying that because this time I ain't really feel it, but I liked all the other shit you did. Like,
they just want a conversation.
They do.
Man, they just want
they need to knock it off.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, I embrace it all. It don't upset
all
me.
press is good press. And Kevin Johnson, and I didn't know what was going on.
Shout out to Kevin Johnson. That's my dude. He's
because Kevin said,
got my
it looks to me like Chingy won because y'all talking about him and y'all watching the video and you got the views. I'm going
to tell you one thing people know about me. Calculated strategic steps to make something happen. Okay. And they should think about that.
Always.
Sometimes it takes calculated strategic steps to get people talking. So they have to ask themselves, did they do that or did I do that?
Right.
All right. Well,
Boom.
Chingy, where can they find the song and the album?
They can find the song. You can get on iTunes. You can get it. All the music platforms you can get just like that. Go on my YouTube. Check out the video, Chingy Full Deck. Also, rightthird.com coming soon because my site got down. And so everybody been wanting their shirts. Rightthird.com coming soon so you can get all the merch.
Okay.
It's going to be connected to ChingyNow.com. It's going to be in ChingyNow.com, but you'll see it, and it's a whole structure.
And I'm sure there'll also be links in your YouTube and everything to get your merch.
Links is in. And also check out a BET Finding episode.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You've been on BET. So y'all
created a lot of
say what you want.
Yeah, please. No, keep saying it. Keep saying, go
and
right ahead.
And tag him and all of that.
Please do. Somebody sent me something yesterday. It had a great, listen, these people go out their way.
They made a meme.
They really go out their way. Yeah, they really go out their way to make stuff.
Yeah.
And dude had this grave and said some old crazy stuff, man. I said, hey, look, man. I said, I really appreciate that. You took all that time out your day to make that up. I said, dude, I appreciate that.
Right.
Because, you need a job too.
Yeah.
So I said, keep going. Keep doing it.
Yeah. That's
man,
what
I said like this. St. Louis, support your own, man. Support your own.
That's hard. It's hard for certain people to do that when it's the crabs in the bucket mentality.
Bring
you know
what
I mean? They want the spot, so they not finna support you up there. They want the spot. They want to pull you down so they can get up there. But when I think about it, you got to understand something. How can you say Nelly didn't do nothing for her when he dedicated a whole school to helping people musically and getting them educations in music? How can you say?
And that's all he talk about is your city.
And this is the thing. And when people say that, it's like when the spotlight is on this area, it's like anything. It's like more people can be saved. It's like when the spotlight gets on a person that's stranded on an island, right? Mm-hmm. And they see the light, then they be like, okay, make as much noise as you can so they see us. So it's like just keep making as much noise as you can while the spotlight is on him. Get in his mentions and say something positive, and then somebody will click on your shit. You never know.
And not only that, it's okay for other people to do well. You should be happy to see your fellow man or woman do good. You should be okay with that.
And I've sent several kids to college from her that went on to become something. And then like you get a lot of people to be like, "What you do for St. Louis?" And
oh my God.
Man, I dedicated a whole rap hip hop show, STL show, me and DJ Snow, to St. Louis trying to help artists. You dig what I'm saying?
And that's not all. You employ people from St. Louis.
It's
been people that's been rocking with you, that do your security, that do your that
that's
travel
with
their
families.
You. Exactly, that
people
travel
don't know
with
I
you.
got Fresco Kane a record deal.
Exactly.
That's my dude.
These
from
are
East
people.
St. Louis. Like
If you are providing some sort of income from anybody, then you're putting back into the St. Louis community, regardless.
Totally.
So people stop saying that. Everybody who
Totally.
that runs with you, the guys and all that, everybody run with you. Shouts out to Mousy.
St. Louis.
This is somebody that you paid her.
Yes. Yeah.
She from St. Louis.
I still pay Mousy.
That's what I'm saying.
I love Mouse. I still pay Mouse.
But that's what I'm saying. These are people from St. Louis. So when you ask, what have these artists done for St. Louis? They're putting money back into communities by employing people in those communities. Stop it.
And you can't hate on that, man. Like, knock it off.
Do it all the
Get
time.
over it. Get over it and go cop just like that and check the video out. Now, I hope you guys got the concept of the video and what the video is all about while y'all raving and talking about stuff. It was meant to be vintage. It was meant to have that feel.
I said it was.
And so that's just that. Maybe like Staci said, I should have just put late 90s or something up there.
You should have let us know because they heated you. When I saw the Mercedes medallion hanging from, I was like, this is supposed to be old. Nobody does
that's
that
Howard,
anymore.
Though. That's my daddy. That's the type of stuff he does.
He does he still have that?
Howard, he's old.
Okay.
Howard is old school.
Howard Senior, stop it. Okay.
He's
Howard
old
Senior,
school with his.
Don't stop snatching medallions off of people's cars, though. Please. Well, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it because I needed some clarity. I was just like, I just got questions. I got questions. I'm reserving comment until I get the questions answered. I knew I was right.
Man, Chingy, my guy, we gonna ride.
I always deliver the truth. I'm all about the truth. I want everybody to know that. That's why sometimes when people interview and ask me, so can I talk? I say, ask me what you want because all I'm gonna do is be authentic and give you the truth. That's it.
I appreciate it. Well, when I saw your name all over my social media yesterday, I was like, what is going on? Yeah. I need to know because I've been working hard. I've been working hard. So thank you for stopping by.
Right on,
and you make sure you pick up the new single. Go and stream the whole project right now. We need you to do that, okay?
For real.
And stream it. Loyalty and Greed.
Loyalty and Greed.
I might have to postpone the album because you got more. Things been going on, so I might have to postpone the album to see what's going on out here, man. Get some offers and all types of stuff.
You never know. That's what I'm saying. You take advantage of the spotlight instead of hating on somebody else's spotlight. Like I said, surround him with positivity, and you never know how it can affect you. That's our show for today. All right, we just gonna keep it pushing. Join us on Friday. We're back on Friday, so make sure you tune into the Static Podcast. Then don't forget to check me at Elmo's Love Lounge tomorrow night. Shouts out to my sponsors, the Hester Group, a law office with 12 years proven track record of success, and also my good friends over there at Shay's Donut Shop, where you can find them at 1015 North Grand. I will talk to you then. Bye.